Welcome to tonight's fantastic dinosaur action. Oh, hey. Whew. The release of Duskmourn just today. I have added a couple fantastic options to my Stampede Dinos list here, and I had to use some more Jurassic Park screen grabs, thumbnails, clips. That was a face swap. I was trying to make it so I could talk as the face. I know there is some programs for that, but that did pretty good. This is, as it always is, fantastic dinosaur action on Arena in Explorer. The list, as always, in the description. And I got close to Mythic. Lost a couple matches there against Mono Green Devotion and a couple more aggressive stuff. Mono Green Devotion, especially, that was certainly pretty painful with the new Leyline from Duskmourn. They jammed that with Leyline with the Guild Pact. It was pretty painful stuff. But for anybody that's new, if you're wondering how this particular dinosaur deck works, the primer, link to that in the description, as well as the Discord. And hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday. If it wasn't good, we're going to have a good time right here. A little bit better. Sit back, relax, and watch the absolute devastation. All right. What did I buy? About 20 packs from the store of Duskmourn. Got the golden packs, which is quite nice. But I opened up a couple copies of Enduring Vitality, and I gotta say it does make a fair bit of sense for, well, maybe any dinosaur deck, but mostly because the dinosaurs, oftentimes they have haste with Regisaur Alpha and Palani's Hatcher. Now, Palani's Hatcher especially makes 2 dinosaur eggs. Those could tap for mana from Enduring Vitality. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Oftentimes I don't exactly need that mana, but I wanted to try this out. Doubling up on Marauding Raptor, it reduces all creatures by 1, so that's already tons of mana, technically, worth of ramp, and now itself can tap for a mana. So it's like it could play Pugnacious Hammerskull. We'll go with this line to start. Marauding on turn 2. Turn 3 we play the 3rd land. We play Enduring Vitality for 2 green. So we have that 1 land left, but now Marauding can tap for a mana. Boom. That's the 1 plus the 3rd land. Pugnacious is already reduced by 2. We play that turn 3. Pretty decently explosive. It might have just normally been Pugnacious Hammerskull, but now with this, there's many more options. Just exploding with everybody, and sometimes the Great Henge, especially drawing a bunch of cards, putting a bunch on the battlefield, or just with Ghalta. Sometimes I don't put a lot out, and, well, maybe I want a little bit extra mana to play the Regisaur that I draw with the Great Henge, be able to attack with everybody that turn, and it could be a very real possibility. Tap Enduring Vitality, tap Marauding Raptor. Sadly, it doesn't have trample. There's many ways to do so, but let's consider it doesn't have trample. It's big. You know for a fact this is going to be chump blocked by a 1/1 or a 2/2. So at the very least, you could tap it, make a mana, and if all it does is get you 1 more mana to casting the Regisaur Alpha, something like that, Palani's Hatcher, you got to kill the opponent as fast as possible. Usually you want to be doing that, so Marauding would help, Pugnacious, Enduring Vitality itself, and also when it dies, it returns as an enchantment, so the opponent might just kind of avoid using removal on it. Chances are they will at least take it out once, since it is a creature. But I gotta say, a couple times it's been, quite nice indeed. Boom, it's dead. Still helps when it comes back as only an enchantment, and I continue to pop off. Especially with the Great Henge, that is like, oh my. Although it may be too much ramp. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself, and of course this is pre-recorded, so it is going to be a couple examples of too much ramp. Marauding, supercharging, Enduring Vitality, how much do I need it? That is going to be the question. This was Ripjaw Raptor, so I might be feeling pretty bad in some cases. not having Ripjaw, the extra draw really could make all the difference, where I don't exactly need the mana from Enduring Vitality. But for now, we'll leave it there. As always, we have the base of the lands getting there to an explosive amount of mana in a stable way, because it is all attached to lands, and then you sprinkle in Marauding now, which continues to be performing quite nicely. It does die, fairly often, but a little bit less, it feels like. Definitely quite nice, especially if the opponent uses removal on Marauding or Pugnacious. Sometimes that has meant that Palani's Hatcher survives. I gotta say, that is a pretty good thing. The opponent maybe sees what I'm all about. It's game 2. They have removal, but they want to kill Marauding, Pugnacious, the creatures that happened before Palani's Hatcher, and then when I drop everybody with the namesake, Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant, there is a better chance of Palani's Hatcher surviving, giving everybody haste, and killing the opponent that turn. And we may need to, but also we may need Screaming Nemesis. Also from Duskmourn is, if you're playing with Marauding Raptor, you have Screaming Nemesis. Don't ask any questions. There's nothing to debate. You use it. If you hate life gain, we now have basically the best life gain hate. I know. Yo Nemesis. The arch nemesis of life gain. I used it today. If you're in the Discord, I think I posted a picture of it. But I faced off against Transmogrify Boros. Transmogrify Vaultborn Tyrant. The opponent at one point got 3 Vaultborn Tyrants from an Indomitable Creativity. 3 red, and then they paid 3 mana for X. They destroyed 3 creatures or artifacts. They hit 3 Vaultborns. That was like 9 triggers, because they each see themselves and then the other Vaultborns. I was dead that turn, but I did learn what they were all about. And the following game they played a Trax, which has lifelink, and the Vaultborns gaining life. No. I got the Screaming Nemesis down. The opponent actually blocked a Screaming Nemesis with, I think it was a 2/2, or it might have been a 4/4. It doesn't really matter. This was dealt damage. I dealt damage to the opponent, and then all the potential life gain that Atraxa would have got went out the window, and it meant I took the win from them quite nicely. But if we face Angels, boom, there you go. You play Marauding turn 2, Screaming Nemesis turn 3, and Angels loses. I mean, they have lots of flying creatures. I don't have reach, but for the most part, Angels probably loses, because they're gaining no life for the rest of the game. It doesn't get more simple, straightforward, and clear. I'm quite excited about it. And Tyrranax Rex as well, like I mentioned last night. Yeah, it was last night. Keep it in the 75. Don't want to trim it. Don't see myself ever trimming it, because when we face off against control, it's coming in big time. Savage Stomp is the 3 spot right here if we face off against Aggro, because I have been facing it a little bit today. It's been kind of painful. Bring it in. Probably take out maybe Carnage Tyrant, possibly Enduring Vitality. But yeah, just a little bit of interaction perhaps to help a touch. Like I mentioned, Pugnacious could come down for 2 with the reduction from Marauding. So turn 3, I could be left with 1 green, which would be Savage Stomp, take somebody out, power up Marauding Raptor. It's already pinged Pugnacious Hammerskull, so it's sitting at 4/3. It will become a 5/4, and that's pretty decent, especially if the opponent only has 1 creature. Boom, we take it out, hit him for a good chunk of damage. And then Pithing Needle, kind of the all-star last night. Well, if you name Cauldron Familiar, Ygra, Cat Food combo can't really do a whole lot of anything. They can do a lot of good stuff, but Ygra, who eats all, or eater of all, that cat, I'm sure most of us are familiar with. Yeah, I don't really care about it, because it doesn't have trample for the most part. It's just big. Likely, chances are I'm going to have somebody that can jump block it. But I say we jump right into the matches. Oh, wow. I swear I was far away from 10 minutes. We could go on tangents as well for anybody that is interested in talking about some of the new Duskmourn cards, the stuff I might use in Dinosaurs. Other than Enduring Vitality and Screaming Nemesis, nothing really jumps out as super necessary, super helpful. There is certainly going to be cards that I try at some point here, but it's not like, ooh, This is definitely helping me to achieve something I wasn't, or to achieve something better than I'm achieving already. Yeah, oh boy, we'll see. Hopefully I don't miss Regisaur Raptor too much. Yeah, Enduring Vitality, tons of mana, just that little bit more ramp to explode and devastate the opponent faster. That hand might just do it. If we see one of 4 Great Henges, we're in a great position. Definitely. And I love seeing Castle Garenbrig, of course. Turn 3 Pugnacious Hammerskull, might be okay. Of course, Marauding Raptor would be good. Scavenger's Talent. Oh, would have liked a Sunken Citadel, but 3 of 4 Castle Garenbrigs. You just, no, you never know. Pithing Needle certainly coming in against this pesky cat food combo. Oh boy. Hopefully it's not Thoughtseize. I bet it is. Oh, Witch's Oven, that's not too bad. Love it. Hopefully they don't steal Pugnacious with Claim the Firstborn. That is a very real possibility. Sacrificing it, and it will have haste, so it would hit us for 6, and they would get 2 food tokens. I think there's a pretty good chance that Pugnacious is probably dead somehow, some way. Hashtag pre-recorded. There's the first pre-recorded moment of the night. I said exactly what would happen, and it happened. Man, I'm too good, or too bad. I don't know. Good stuff though. Never played against this kind of deck in my life. Oh boy. It is a little bit painful having those cheaper earlier creatures, which I didn't have for a long time. I was getting there with basically just the lands. There was no marauding, no Pugnacious to be killed, stolen. All that sort of removal and interaction just sat in the opponent's hand, and that certainly makes sense to me. It still makes sense to me. At the very least, we will be playing Regisaur Alpha next turn, and oh well, I kind of like Enduring Vitality. Nah. We could make 6 green with Castle Garenbrig. We're playing Regisaur. We can't make 7 for Vaultborn, and Vaultborn Tyrant is definitely happening next turn. Oh, I wonder if they're going to kill the token. Oh boy. Maybe they're going to Fatal Push it. Oh! Speaking of Fatal Push, of course it is nice not having to worry about Marauding Raptor, because, well, not having it in. The Fatal Push oftentimes sits in the opponent's hand because the only creature that they can kill is, I don't know, a dinosaur token in some cases. It's quite nice indeed, I gotta say. That's not too bad. The opponent is still on, I think, the first level of both Scavenger's talents. Yes, it appears so. That's good for me. Very, very nice indeed. 100% Vaultborn Tyrant. We want that card draw if we get Ghalta. Stampede Tyrant next turn. It would mostly be dead. A bunch of Enduring Vitality isn't going to be doing too much for us. Bloppa, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you, and oh boy. They have to do something pretty nasty, but at the moment you're seeing how, I mean, I'm getting there. I'm making a ton of mana, not needing Enduring Vitality. I said it was pre-recorded, and it definitely is, because imagine Enduring Vitality is, and would have been Regisaur Raptor. I would be playing 2 Regisaur Raptors next turn, which would it'd certainly be better than Enduring Vitalities, which are mostly useless at this point. But yes, trying some new cards. It's got a lot of fantastic potential. Again, like I mentioned at the start, this is a deck with a lot of creatures, and all those creatures usually have haste because they're all dinosaurs. The haste provided by Regisaur or Palani, so they can tap for mana the turn they enter, and then I continue to explode and play a bunch of stuff that I draw with the Great Henge, and well, it's been feeling pretty great. Wonder what they'll do. Looks like they might kill Regisaur Alpha. They're not killing Vaultborn Tyrant. That just wouldn't make sense. And also, yeah, Regisaur Raptor has 4 power. It would trigger Vaultborn Tyrant. So it would gain 3 life, draw a card. I would gain 6 life and draw 2 cards. Oh, okay. Then torching Regisaur Alpha, that's not a lot of fun. Oh boy. I'm not too worried about that. Huh? Vaultborn Tyrant still seems like it will connect. I think they will gain a little bit of life at the very least. Mayhem Devil. Oh, well, okay. Strap yourselves in, folks, because it's about to get interesting. A boom. There we go. Exploding. Castle Garenbrig using the mana from the Great Henge to go. Okay. We like this. And it enters with a counter. I don't believe it doesn't trigger Vaultborn now. No. It would have to enter with a counter to trigger Vaultborn Tyrant, unfortunately. But I think we should be safe. I don't imagine the opponent can come back from this. And oh boy. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll draw some more creatures next turn. Either we draw the creature for the turn, or in the Enduring Vitality we have in our hand draws it when it enters with the Great Henge again. There is only 20 lands in the deck. I'm completely flooded at this point, especially with Enduring Vitality. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it at the start, because well, I have enough mana. Definitely. I mean, they could do some sort of funny business, but still. Oh no, that's not happening. No siree. Yeah, we should be safe. Man, so much mana coming up. Now I could attack with the Enduring Vitalities. I mean, I'll block. That's fine by me. I guess they're dead next turn. Huh. They can sacrifice a food, gain a bit of life, but I don't see how they're surviving through this. Kind of odd. Huh. Okay, going to level 3, that's fine. They can sacrifice 3 non-land permanents to bring a creature back from the graveyard, put it onto the battlefield with a finality counter on it. So when it dies, it's exiled, but I don't see anything big and nasty coming. Okay, you got a Mayhem Devil. What's that going to do? Not a whole lot. Yeah, just keep milling. Yeah, I'm going to keep killing. Oh, I like a good Vaultborn Tyrant. Okay. Always tap Castle Garenbrig, get that mana set up, efficient amount of mana. Big time Vaultborn, and we can make 8. So, yeah, no, it tends to do the trick. Enduring Vitality, both of them that were out could have tapped for 2 mana. Plus a Rockfall and a Castle. That's the 4 mana for the other castle to make 6. I was still left with Stomping Ground, would have made 7. The Vaultborn Tyrant itself could have tapped to make the 8th mana if I would have drawn Ghalta, which I could have played. I was about to draw 3 cards. The Vaultborn, the second one, seeing itself, plus the Vaultborn that was out, plus the Great Henge. Ooh, pretty deadly stuff. Lovely, tons of life gain, and I got to admit, that Enduring Vitality is endearing. The endearing. That's a double pun, because I think it is a deer. Endearing, deer, enduring vitality. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. But the cat shenanigans, Pithing Needle. You bring it in, you name Cauldron Familiar, you don't have to worry too much. Trim Enduring Vitality, well, I think we do that. Yeah. I definitely want to keep the big stuff, big-ish stuff with Carnage Tyrant and Vaultborn. A decent chunk does have trample, so I don't have to worry too much about chump blocking, and I probably could have just trimmed Marauding Raptor, easily getting stolen or killed. Probably mostly guaranteed. mostly useless to have it in, but I want to try it. I miss Marauding Raptor. Kind of miss some of these hands that are perfect, just like this one. There was quite a few batches of them where that was one land, quite painful indeed. You know what? I like Regisaur Alpha. We might need double redundancy for when we drop Ghalta. It seems like we should be getting there. I guess we're not getting there. They're getting rid of Ghalta, sadly. Okay, well, there's a very real possibility I make 8 mana for Ghalta before or right when I could make mana for Regisaur. Of course, I would play Ghalta, depending if we get an Archdruid's Charm. If we do get an Archdruid's Charm, they are mostly dead, done. I would hope for... Oh, hashtag pre-recorded. Okay, well, they have to kill me next turn or else I kill them. 8 mana, turn 4. Of course, this is a good example of not needing the Great Henge, but man, I really went hard on the pre-recording tonight. Oh boy, what are you going to play? Oh shoot. Man, 2 Cauldron Familiars. That's pretty good. This is also pretty good. Pithing, well, that's alright. I imagine Ghalta's dead. It is a little bit unfortunate when the Ghalta turn is not as impactful as you'd like. Good. No instant speed removal. They had 3 mana up. I was worried there might be a go for the throat or something like that. Yeah. 8 mana turn 4. 8 mana that the opponent could do nothing about because all of that 8 mana came from 5 lands. You can't fail to push a land. You can't go for the throat a land. You're... boom. You just die. And that's good. That's what I want to be doing. No mercy, if at all possible. Okay. Well, we got the pre-recorded match out of the way, and we'll just get right into the next one. Yeah. How much ramp is too much? Of course, seeing 20 lands, if some of you guys are new, you might think 20 lands is not enough. Oh, it's definitely enough. For a little while there, was actually doing 18, 19. Man, it still worked out pretty good, but Commander Crane, if you're watching, you made that lovely suggestion after some time to, bump it up a bit, and 20 definitely feels nice. I might go back down to 19, but I don't want to go up to 21 or 22. And I have been meaning actually to go over the exact 20 lands that I have at the moment. Why every single one specifically, and I think that could be pretty helpful to people. I did do it in the primer, but just the current updated sort of discussion. Oh, technically it's okay. Sunken Citadel, we choose red to get Marauding down. We have 2 forests, which is the 2 green we need to activate Castle Garenbrig. I'm going to give it a go. Of course, we would taint the 3 green that's needed for Archdruid's Charm. Hopefully I don't draw it right here. Oh boy. Rakdos, Prowess, Aggro. That could be quite painful, but now we got Enduring Vitality. As I mentioned, it could be pretty good coming up here. I imagine the opponent is going to be, too fast. Although I am on the play, so that does give me an extra turn to maybe do some stuff. Maybe. I'll think about it. Of course, Sheltered Thicket, if you see it later on, I can get rid of it. But I'd rather just have something big and nice and good in its place instead. Possibly. I love Sheltered Thicket. I kind of go back and forth between that and Commercial District from Murders at Karlov Manor, but if it was any extra, definitely it would be more Sheltered Thicket, something that I could, get rid of, retry for something better. Sometimes. Of course, we are just sometimes dead, basically. Oh boy. Technically, we could almost kill him coming up here. Huh. Let me think. I guess we killed a Dreadhorde Arcanist. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Not sure why they did that. Strange. Strange indeed. Let me think. Oh, this is good. Okay, we got to enter full control. Want to tap that for a green. I got to make sure I do this right. I can tap the eggs before Marauding kills him. I'm pretty sure. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I like this. I can't make use of that mana, but I just wanted to show how pretty darn fantastic it could be. And again, we could be dead, but yeah, that, gets you out of sticky situations. All you need is a Marauding for 2, and then you play Enduring Vitality, and all of a sudden you've got cost reduction and a bunch of mana tapping everybody. Pretty good, pretty good. But again, if it is extra lands above and beyond the 20 Sheltered Thickets. Chalice of the Void? Ooh, yeah, I would like Chalice of the Void. Definitely. Yeah, no. Plains Hatcher, we want to stop that Heartfire hero. We're not dead yet, but the opponent should be dead right here. Tends to do the trick. Okie dokie. Do I want Regisaur? I guess Regisaur Alpha. That'd probably be... No. Let me think. If only I had one more land, I could just straight up play Regisaur and then definitely smoke him. Yeah, just not quite enough. Not quite enough. Would have got him, but that's how she goes. Savage Stomp. I like that. I want that touch of interaction. Enduring Vitality, we'll keep it in. Carnage Tyrant don't exactly... Well, it is nice to have, but keep the cheaper creatures, kind of like how I brought in more removal when I was doing that for about a week or so. The black removal I had, just bring in a ton, kill all the creatures that Rakdos aggro plays, or whichever aggro deck, and it certainly worked out. Of course, this hand won't work out. Not quite that. Oh, not that. Okay, well, we got to something. Make the magic happen eventually. Well, that could work out all right. Get a third land. Archdruids, boom. We're making 6 green. Of course, this opponent is on the play, and probably didn't really matter much of what we would do. Heartfire Hero could... We'll see. We'll see. I don't imagine they're going to sacrifice it this turn. I'll wait for it to get a little bit bigger. Oh, lovely stuff with that Marauding Raptor. Hopefully Enduring Vitality coming up sometime here. Heartfire here, of course, it is going to get too big when they target it. Putting a counter on it, the toughness is going more than 2, so no chance that Marauding would trade with it. And, well, Sunken. Too little, too late. Aggro doing what it's meant to do. Would I have appreciated Ripjaw Raptor in that first game? Probably. Yeah. Can't win them all. They can't always be perfect. But yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe one day I'll try out some more Sheltered Thickets. 21, 20-second lands. It would have to be a pretty good case for that, and that is a good case. You see it later on, which chances are you will, because you only have 1 or 2 of them. Get rid of it. And that is an activated ability of a land. The cycling from Sheltered Thicket. 1 Sunken Citadel gets you a cycle, which is pretty decent, pretty efficient. I kinda like it. I would like to risk it, but no. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, man. Pretty much perfect. Now the question becomes, send a Ghalta to the bottom or 1 Vaultborn? Be a little bit more greedy keeping that Ghalta. I think we just send a Ghalta, play it a little bit safe because we don't know what the opponent is on. But that is a pretty good hand. Lovely, lovely stuff. We see 1 more land. We make the mana for Vaultborn Tyrant. Follow up with another one, and mono white humans, mono white aggro, whatever you want to call it. That could be quite painful, but we're getting Enduring Vitality coming up. So that actually means that we will be making 7 mana on turn 4, because Enduring Vitality would be able to tap in. Oh look, Thalia's makes non-creature stuff cost more, but then boom, now we play this. It's a creature, not taxed by Thalia. I love it. I love it. Hopefully it doesn't get exiled by the Brutal Cathar. Cross your fingers. At the very least, it's a creature with a 3/3 vigilance that could scare away some aggression from the opponent quite nicely indeed. Good, good. I'm not blocking. 100%. I'm playing Vaultborn. Now we have to cross our fingers that the opponent doesn't have Brave the... Oh my goodness. Yes, please. That's what it's all about. Really should have attacked first. I'll get used to that. It's the first day with Enduring Vitality, but we could have attacked, got some damage with it. Coppercoat Vanguard was not going to block it. Okay, that's brutal, to say the least. It's about to be brutal coming up because I'm about to make 8. We just have to live until they die. Hopefully this is enough. Just have to mulligan once and poof. I think we have enough life to survive. Certainly with that Ghalta. Oh, the Great Henge. I'm playing that for 2 and then the Ghalta afterwards. Good. No Brave the Elements. That means we win. Big time. 100% commercial district. We're going to be drawing something. If there's a land on top, I don't... Oh. Okay. I like that. All right. So we have mana for Ghalta. We're spending 2, but we're getting 2 back because the Great Henge taps for 2. That's what it's all about. Okay. And this is also a very important thing, which I came up with also this point, this reasoning on lunch today. You want to see multiple Ghaltas. That is just an absolutely fantastic thing. Take my word for it. You see one, the first one puts the other one onto the battlefield. That's good. You get more triggers, you draw more stuff, and with the trigger of the second, you put that second batch of creatures on the battlefield, you definitely kill the opponent. Oftentimes, it's a
ruthless aggression.
Absolutely ruthless aggression, but also, if I know I'm going to be sacrificing the Ghalta that's out, I tap it for mana to help pay for stuff. There you go. What more could you ask for? Whew. Okay, fortunately, Mono White Humans wasn't quite fast enough. Just Enduring Vitality alone, that's going to save me big time. Big time. Oh, 100%. Big brain dino stuff. Don't listen to naysayers. They haven't played this enough. You play a bunch of Ghaltas. It's like, it's the best thing, but it's not the only thing. Somebody taking a quick glance might think, oh, a deck that only focuses on that, oh, it just folds. No, that's not the only plan. This is just the most devastating part. You play this, and there's many different scenarios where you just absolutely crush the opponent. Yeah, you tap the one Ghalta for mana, you're getting draws with the Vaultborn. It's lovely. It's lovely. Now, it's not going to be lovely here because the mono white opponent is on the play. A little bit more interaction with Savage Stomp. It is reduced to 1 green, but Thalia would then increase it to 2 in total. 1 in a green with the taxing, but if we can take out Thalia, it could make all the difference. For the most part, everything is creatures. And the Great Henge could be increased by 1 from Thalia, but I could just have Ghalta out, which still fully reduces the Great Henge, which is pretty darn fantastic. It keeps it at that 2 green. Yeah, the Carnage Tyrant will trim that. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, we did pretty good to begin with, so I still feel alright. How much of a difference would those 3 Savage Stomps have made if I had actually locked them in from the sideboarding? Well, that's a keep. Look, I don't have to mulligan. If we get a Castle Garenbrig, we're off to the races. We'll see. Veteran Survivor from Duskmourn here. 1 white for a 2/1. That's already a pretty good rate for humans. The humans certainly didn't survive the previous game, and hopefully they don't survive this match. If it's tapped exiles stuff, 3 or more, okay. Gets bigger if 3 or more cards are exiled with Veteran Survivor. I don't like the sounds of that. No. It is very solid Graveyard Hate. This is pretty cool. Oh yeah, okay. This is good stuff. I like what the opponent's doing here. Yeah. Marauding, I want to get it down. Feels pretty nice. Next turn Sunken. We could still play Pugnacious with the Sunken and the Cavern, and Sunken, the second one entering to, okay. Could be rough. Question is, would I trade with Veteran Survivor? Possibly. Keep in mind, I only have to draw a Castle Garenbrig, and we're feeling like we're in a pretty good position here. I'm trading with somebody. Good. Nope, just get it gone. Get it gone. I like that. Hope they don't have another one. Oh, they have another one. And I drew the Pugnacious Hammerskull, which I could have played if I had saved Marauding Raptor. Yeah, that would have been nice to play that turn. And then play the Great Henge coming up here. Well, we're not dead yet. Let's not get too flustered. Maybe we draw Castle Garenbrig coming up. Well, play that. It enters tapped, unfortunately, because I don't have a forest. That's all right. Might be all right, as long as they don't have removal for Pugnacious, but as we saw, there is the Brutal Cathar. Very, very brutal stuff. If Pugnacious sticks around, just for a turn to... Never mind, it does not stick around for a turn. Ouch. Pain and suffering. That thing's pretty good, man. Ooh. Well, we're not winning that one, but we got the first one done. I like Savage Stomp. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm going to get things locked in. I'm not going to miss it this time. Okay, off to the races. Whew. Man. Not that humans needed a whole lot of upgrade, but now they got Graveyard Hate, something that can get bigger once it's exiled 3 things. Kind of scary stuff. That hand, kind of scary stuff for the opponent. Basically, perfect. Either we go Archdruids on turn 3 or Pugnacious Hammerskull. I like seeing a Ghalta. There's a very real possibility we get to Ghalta mana. I would have sent it to the bottom if I thought otherwise. Depends what we draw next turn. It's probably going to be Archdruid's Charm. I'm not too worried about their aggression. There's no Copper Coat Vanguard, whatchamacallit. Pugnacious. We play Pugnacious. There's a good chance it gets answered, so Archdruid's Charm it is. We would have enough mana to go with Pugnacious plus a Savage Stomp next turn. Of course, it could have been nice right then, but well, that's how she goes. At least we will be taking out, hopefully, one person. We're going to take out the Copper Coat Vanguard. It is the only thing that, well, doesn't have ward. Okay. Drawing a Sunken Citadel as well for the turn. Well, that could possibly lock things up. We would be making Ghalta mana quite nicely. Okay, here goes nothing. Ooh. It's okay. It's okay. Cross your fingers they don't have Brave the Elements for 1 white. I think that could be, sadly, a very real possibility. Oh boy. You have it, don't you? Oh. I've never played against humans in my life. Oh boy. Oh. Huh. An honest effort. I mean, technically we're not dead yet, huh? Gotta play something. Something good. Basically has to be Palani's Hatcher too. Ooh. Let me think. So I go with the Great Henge to gain some life. That's very important. Maybe this could work. I think it could. Huh, this is going to be interesting. Three, five. Okay, well, I guess that's it. They played Containment Priest. If they had not played any other creatures, we could have, slipped by the skin of our teeth. Would have gone up to 3 with the Great Henge. Targeted veteran survivor there. Copper Coat Vanguard would have taken us down to 1. Pugnacious would have blocked Dauntless Vanguard, or Dauntless Bodyguard, I should say, and well, then they flash that in. That's not too much of a problem. They will respond to Ghalta with that, so all the creatures that I would have put on the battlefield, they would be exiled, but they play that before I choose the creatures from Ghalta's trigger when it enters. So I just choose not to put any creatures on the battlefield. It oftentimes just slows down the inevitable. It buys the opponent another turn, because at the very least I have Ghalta on the battlefield. Or I just have a ton of mana, as, well, sometimes I do. And then I just normally play a couple other things. It is nice, though, to see a lot of new cards, and maybe people are trying it out, but at least with that new one for humans, we're going to have to watch out. Hey, at least it's not Rakdos Aggro. I don't know which one I would prefer facing. It's just nasty with mono-white humans. They have Brave the Elements, and then you lose. You can't even interact with it, because they all have protection from green. They're unblockable. Poof. It just goes right out the window. But I think I like that. 2 lands. If this wasn't Sunken, if it was anything else... Nah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. We like that. Big time. Ooh. It was decent because I could get to Marauding, but now with the Castle Garenbrig, turn 3 we'll be able to search for and put the other Sunken out, and at least we'll get to Vaultborn mana. Now I imagine there could be a counter spell somewhere in the mixture. Do I want to take 2 and lose Marauding? No, I don't. Marauding would have got killed. This is it Phoenix? So, well, Well, we wait. Watch. Would they have Spell Pierce? They might. For a single blue, making us pay an extra 2. We have to wait, I think, until they tap out. Usually I like to do that. Maybe they use their 2 sources of blue. They keep up that 1 source of red to perhaps kill a creature that I play. They can't kill Vaultborn, so just wait. If they use that Storm-Carved Coast, snap. Archdruids. Oh, you got a counter spell? Okay, at the very least, it's burnt now. So we're safe to go with the other Archdruids. They use up their final source of... Oh, they don't. Interesting. Well, you know what? They might have a counter spell. If they do, now it doesn't matter. Poof. Surprise. Dead. Done. Vaultborn. You're not out racing that. What you gonna do? Lightning Axe? You're gonna double up on removal? Hopefully it's not the whatchamacallit. Yeah, the one that exiles. And we don't get a token, sadly. Fine by me. Pretty good stuff. I don't mind. I mean, they got more fuel for treasure cruise, and they get... Oh boy, they got 1 Arclight Phoenix in the graveyard. Oh, shucks. It's going to deal 3 damage to me. Oh, shoot. They expended 2 resources, even though it is one they would have wanted to do. And now we got them where we want them. Yes. Play another Vaultborn. Hopefully they don't bounce the token. It would be nice to double up on the triggers. Okay. Of course, Otwara, that is a token. It just disappears, but... And gain life. Yeah, hello is right. Play your 3-2 Hasty Graveyard Chicken. If at any point we draw Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant, they're dead, I'm gonna, play it safe. Keep playing stuff, gain life. We'll get Ghalta eventually, or we won't, but either way, it's about to be very deadly indeed. Play Marauding, see what happens. That's okay. See what they do with Regisaur. Maybe they have a counter spell, maybe they don't. It doesn't really matter because, good. Good stuff. Of course, it is a very deadly deck. We have to watch out. I got hosed, unfortunately, 1 time this evening against Phoenix, so it's nice to get a bit of revenge once again. I feel, as I usually do, pretty confident against it. Nothing too much is going to help. Taking out an early Ledger Shredder. Well, that would be pretty good with Savage Stomp there, though. Keep it like that. Keep all those early creatures, even though Marauding Raptor is almost guaranteed to die to all their stuff. Don't play a cheap creature and ever expect it to live against Izzet Phoenix. But that... it could be better. We got 3 lands, at least playing Enduring Vitality, but... I'm going to start with Pugnacious Hammerskull just because it has 6 toughness. Lightning Axe does not take it out. They have to likely use 2 pieces of removal. 2 resources. So that is another good point for the Hammerskull. And we'll keep that Regisaur just in case we get to Ghalta, levels of mana, having the redundancy of this. If they have a Lightning Axe, they take out perhaps the only Regisaur and they make us soar. Yeah. Good old Pugnacious. Counterspell, Ether Gust, maybe. Of course, we'll send it to the bottom if that's the case. The opponent might have Ether Gust in for the Rakdos Aggro Prowess matchup. Could see him doing a Lightning Axe plus. Oh, okay. I like... Yeah, I don't know. Triumphant Chomp could be something. Triumphant Chomp is pretty nice, I got to admit. a minimum. Even without a dinosaur, you deal 2 damage to a creature. I'll think about it. I'm just so used to Savage Stomp in that power sticking around because it does put a counter on it. I'm sure they'll counter somebody. We want to get the counters burnt, the answers on stuff. I want to save the Great Henge. Get them to use up their answers on other stuff and then hopefully resolve the Great Henge maybe next turn. We'll see. Double Lightning Axe. Lightning Axe and Fire Impulse. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. They didn't even get it. They still don't have an Arclight Phoenix in the graveyard. Okay. Spend 2 pieces of removal any day to take out 1 thing. That's good. It's a pretty easy sell. Oh. A Treasure Cruise for 4. I like that. And now I like that I can safely go with the Great Henge and have enough mana for Enduring Vitality. Drawing a card, gain some life. It's a bit bigger. We don't need to attack. I'll wait. Pugnacious next turn should... Oh, yeah, Thing in the Ice. That is something. But now, hopefully with Enduring Vitality, it means we get to Ghalta. We have enough mana, I believe. Ooh. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. If my math is right, being able to tap Pugnacious and Enduring Vitality, plus the Great Henge, and we get 1 reduction. We get immediate ramp with Marauding. Oh, you're going to Ether Gust it. Okay. It's fine. I'll tap it for mana before. I'm okay with that. And then I still play Ghalta. And they still die. Ooh, this Marauding Raptor is about to be massive. Good stuff.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Dang! Oh!
Super dead. Okay. I have to say, it's been quite some time since I faced off against Thing in the Ice. Ugh. I'm happy I don't face it more, but it is pretty painful to play around. And whenever they cast an instant or sorcery, they remove an ice counter, and then if no ice counters are on it, transform it into the Awoken Horde. They can transform it at instant speed if they play an instant, and then poof, all of our stuff is bounced, and the opponent might bounce their own Arclight Phoenixes, but if this is before combat, they might have just played 3 instant or sorceries, and then they would get them back if they can discard them. But yep, Thunderblade, an 18 power Marauding Raptor is pretty good. Think of this. Let's pause for a second. Marauding Raptor would have been Sylvan Scrying. I don't know. It doesn't have trample, so if you want trample on Marauding, it certainly is a pretty good case right there. But reduction for everything, bigger damage. Perhaps the opponent is left open, and sometimes they are. They see only a Marauding, or they see 2. Maybe they're at full health and they think, oh, I'm going to attack with everything. My opponent won't block with their Marauding Raptor. I'm safe. And then poof, you drop a Regisaur Alpha next turn. Reduced to 3 with 2 Maraudings out, and that's 2 pings on each. Both Marauding Raptors get +4/+all. Yeah. It works out to 12 damage. So with the 2 Maraudings, 12 damage to the opponent, and maybe they're at 12. I've won because the opponent did not respect the potential of Marauding to get supercharged. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, trample on Marauding Raptor, that would also help win the game in some cases. quite nicely. A pack though. Well, I say we open it up. I was thinking of saving the Duskmourn packs that I bought from the shop, but I just felt like opening them. You know what? Things have gone pretty good. I mean, I'm always having a good time, but a special thing for everybody right now, later on, but for the people right now, I'm going to buy 10 more packs of Duskmourn and get that golden pack. Again, I'm pretty fortunate. I love one deck so much that I have everything I could ever want. I have enough wild cards, and if you guys have suggestions, chances are I can redeem for it, but I might have it already. Ooh, okay, what do we got here? Nashi, Walk-in Closet and Forgotten Cellar. This was mentioned in the Discord. I gotta say, Walk-in Closet actually is pretty interesting. There is a couple ways for you to play lands from your graveyard. Whatchamacallit? Ramanap Collar, something like that. A snake creature from Hour of Devastation, I believe, quite a few years ago, 2017 or something. You can play lands from your graveyard. So this, also doing that. Ramanap Excavator, yes, tip of my tongue. I mean, I'd rather a creature, and then I'm able to play lands from my graveyard rather than just an enchantment. Crucible of Worlds, yes. That is very nice. Also, it would be nice with the Ramanap Excavator being a creature. It would trigger off of the Great Henge, get a little bit bigger, draw a card, but oftentimes the opponent does have that land destruction, painfully. Field of Ruin and Demolition Field. Forgotten Cellar, though, I think that's really the thing we got to look at. When you unlock this door, you may cast spells from your graveyard this turn. If a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile it instead. I don't see myself ever needing that, using it. I don't see myself wanting to spend 5 for an enchantment when I could spend 7 for a creature with the supercharging of Sunken Citadel and Castle Garenbrig. I don't think it would ever come up. So it's an interesting thing. You would likely play Walk-in Closet first for 3, and if at any point afterwards down the line, once you get 5 mana, you may cast either half. That door unlocks on the battlefield as a sorcery. Later on, you may pay the mana cost of a locked door to unlock it. So let's say you play Walk-in Closet, you get the 5 mana, you pay that at sorcery speed, and boom, when you unlock this door, cast spells from your graveyard. You would have to have a lot of mana, I have to imagine. You're spending 5 to unlock it to play stuff from the graveyard, so you would want another 6 maybe afterwards. But if you had a ton of mana, maybe 10, 12, play Forgotten Cellar for 5. Right away, you get that ability, the potential. Yeah. I guess, a class with 2 levels. I think that is a good way to describe it for sure. And it's just that the level changes depending which one you kind of play. Kind of like leveling up. It's interesting. Will I use some? You know what? Let's go on a tangent. Okay. I'm calling this chapter Duskmourn Stuff in a little bit. Eerie keyword ability. I'm going to have to look into that. I'll probably play a match or 2 after this. Something like that. Unlocking them, you can't respond to it. It just automatically happens. I saw somebody post that. They died because they figured they could respond to the unlocking of a room. You can only do it at sorcery speed, but once it happens, it happens. You don't get to cast a spell. And that could be, well, a deadly mistake for some people, as it was for that person who posted about it. Pretty simply, though, I think we'll just start off with discussing the green and red Duskmourn cards. Rare and mythics. Collected, not collected. Pretty straightforward right there. Okay, rooms, stuff. Actually, I do want to talk about Chainsaw. That might be the third one that I'm actually excited about. I think it's intended in the rules. There was some line with the release notes and whatnot, but yes, it's intended. You think you can respond when they spend mana to unlock it? You can't. You can respond to leveling up or whatnot with the classes. Bard class, oftentimes, they go to level it up and make their legendary creatures cost a red and a green less. With that on the stack, before they have a chance to cast a legendary creature, I take it out with some of my enchantment destruction, and then poof, all of a sudden they've sunk the mana into it, but it's gone. And they don't get to play their legendary creatures for free. But yes, with a room, it just happens, and it might be too late. Yeah, that is good. Flipping stuff over, you can't sadly respond to it. Yeah. A lot of new stuff to consider. It's not like a simple set. Will this new stuff stick around? It's hard to say. Some creatures won't stick around if I choose to use Chainsaw here, though. I know it looks wacky, but it spoke to me a little bit. One in a red, hey, I take out a wide range of creatures. I have to imagine when it enters, deal 3 damage to one of them. Well, that's pretty good. Whenever one or more creatures dies, for myself or the opponent, put a rev counter on it. I have to imagine in certain matchups, there's going to be a lot of rev counters on. Equipped creature gets plus X plus O, where X is the number of rev counters on Chainsaw. It's just kind of hilarious, but it's also, I don't know, slap it on somebody that already has trample, the Marauding Raptor factor, not having trample, Chainsaw on Ghalta. Oh, okay. It looks like Carnage Tyrant already has a Chainsaw, I guess. Carnage Tyrant with Chainsaw. You can't get more deadly than that. Oh, wells. 13 counters. That's not fun. Oh, I know. Maybe this is kind of tech in that cat combo sacrifice. Painful. But it is nice to hear that somebody at least revved it up. 13 counters. Ooh. Huh. Yeah. I mean, I would hope that you have some creatures with trample for when you attach it to it and it gets bigger and deadlier. I don't know. It's removal, but then later on it makes somebody bigger. Would I appreciate that? Is it necessary? Hard to say. Oh yes, I think it is. I think that actually is right. One or more, so if everybody dies at once, it's only treated as one trigger. Huh. The cat one, though. A cat food combo deck. Cycling it back and forth. Sacrificing the creature, definitely. That would be a match made in heaven, but yeah, it is good to point out that line. 100%. One or more. If 5 die all at the same time, one counter would be put on it. Huh. Maybe it would be probably a little bit broken, and if it was whenever a creature dies, put a counter on it. That would get pretty big pretty fast. Yeah, Ygra is bigger and bigger. Huh. Pre-release, I mean, I imagine a bunch of people are going to make this mistake. It's pretty easy. It's a brand new card, and just missing that one line. People will say, oh, whenever a creature dies, put a counter on it. But there are those few key words to keep in mind. Yeah. A Ygra bigger. That would be bad, though. Very bad indeed. Okay, next one. Talked about Screaming Nemesis. Razorkin Needlehead. I read a little bit of a blurb, a post about this thing creeping up in price big time. If you're interested in it, well, now might be the time to pick it up. But 2 red, I don't like that. No. I mean, I do kind of like it, I guess, now with Enduring Vitality. Creatures tapping for a mana of any color. It kind of got easier to splash for stuff, so perhaps I could give it a whirl. I mean, 2 for a 2/2. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Razorkin Needlehead deals 1 damage to them. Against certain decks, that would just kill them. So kind of mono green devotion. Sometimes they do draw a lot of cards with the Outcaster, Trailblazer, and Kiora, but now mono green devotion is kind of moving away from stuff. It's going to come into effect at some point against somebody, but it's not like there's any deck that is super common that is drawing a bunch of stuff. I know. I was actually thinking of Underworld Dreams, using that against mono green devotion because they draw a lot of stuff, but now, hey, I get to stay in my colors. Razorkin Needlehead, potentially. Of course, Marauding Raptor does kill it with that 2 toughness, so we'll see. It's scary though. Scary though. It's going to prey on something. Whether or not that something really exists at the moment, hard to say. Oh, speaking of the other enduring creature, I don't know. Is this necessary? Maybe. Of course, it is nice to have that redundancy, like I mentioned. Palani's Hatcher, Regisaur Alpha, the opponent usually kills them. Now with this, everybody's bigger, which I want. Bigger is better, because it means you kill the opponents more often. Smart. Then if it dies, we still get that effect. I wonder. It's not as necessary, I think, as Enduring Vitality. They're all that mana, potentially. Very explosive with Marauding. Definitely would prefer this. Of course, I could use both, but I don't really want to trim anything at the moment. I'm not trimming Pugnacious. Pugnacious is going to be much more helpful than Enduring Courage. Massive creature to help reduce the Great Henge. It's going to be fun. It would be pretty crazy if this was put onto the battlefield with the batch of creatures from Ghalta. I mean, it's already deadly, but now everybody's bigger with +2/+0. We do have this potential with the Ogre Battle Driver. I thought about using that actually a couple times. I might have used it one night 2 or 3 months ago. Of course, this is better than the Ogre Battle Driver, for sure. Kona, which one's Kona? Somewhere here? Or Kiora? Yeah, it might be 1 mana too much. Oh, yes, Kona, Rescue Beastie, yeah, I guess we'll get to that. Anything red? Okay, let's move through the red stuff a little bit quicker. That Waltz of Rage. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. I like that, because I have creatures with big power. Think of Marauding Raptor, huh? It pings a lot of stuff. It was 18. Yeah, maybe. If every creature is going to die. Actually, that could be quite hilarious. Enduring Vitality. Everybody taps for mana. Everybody except Marauding taps. Boom. Marauding deals... Well, it's a board wipe. It's the only creature left for lethal. Huh. Okay, we're cooking now. I figured we would, but... Yeah. Ooh, okay, let's pause. Definitely Ghalta cheated out with Kona. That is a good possibility. Waltz of Rage, though. I'm going to try that at some point. Not just yet. I don't think it's super necessary, but it could be very explosive for some sort of aggro deck. If Marauding Raptor is the only creature left, and it's so big that it just kills them, something to consider. Anything else in red? No. Charred Foy? No. Twitching Doll, that's the 2 mana ramping creature of the set. Pretty freaky looking. Hauntwood's Shrieker. I know some of you guys have been using this to also possibly cheat out Ghalta, kind of like Conan there. When it attacks, you manifest Dread. To manifest Dread, you look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature, the other in your graveyard. Turn it face up any time for its mana cost, if it's a creature card. Of course, most of the stuff in my deck is... Would I like that? I don't know. Play it on turn 3, maybe flip something good on turn 4. It feels like it might be a little bit awkward, especially if I don't hit something too good. Or the opponent just kills the creature that it was. I might not have enough mana, but I could. Castle Garenbrig, keep in mind. Turn 4, making 6. Hauntwood's Shrieker. No, I would have to attack. Okay, never mind. I don't really... We'll see. We'll see. Oh, the music is covering it. Okay. I'll add it to the deck, and now we can see it a little bit better. Yes, 1 and 2 green. It's not usually that the music is hiding it, but oh, if it had haste somehow, or if when it entered and attacked, it manifested Dread, maybe I would like that, because that's an activated ability. Castle Garenbrig's mana could go towards that. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense too much. If I would want to cheat out Ghalta when this attacks, it's already too late. I've chosen my creatures for combat. If I want to get Ghalta, I want to put everything out. I want to be attacking that turn as well, I have to imagine. I would feel pretty bad if Ghalta was manifested, flipped, whatever you want to call it, putting Palani's Hatcher, a bunch of stuff, but I'm not attacking with all that stuff because it's past the point of declare attackers. I don't know. We'll see. Yes. Yeah. Oh, where are we at? Omnivorous Flytrap, Delirium. It's going to be pretty hard for this deck to meet Delirium, having at least 4 different types of cards. I don't see that ever being. No. Definitely the ETB triggers, big time. Not quite right. Kona, though. We're finally going to get to it. Is it necessary? That's the tough one. Kona on turn 3 with the reduction from Marauding Raptor. Well, it could be good. Turn 4. Turn 4, maybe I could put Ghalta on the battlefield. Possibly. Yeah, no. You don't want to lose out on enter the battlefield triggers. When you type that corner, I realized that point of the Hauntwood Shrieker. The thing just is there. Turn it face up. You lose out. You don't put There is a lot of enter the battlefield triggers. So transforming, manifesting, morphing, I don't know. I would feel super terrible losing out on the Vaultborn trigger, Palani's Hatcher. Yeah, I think for now, at least for me, I'll shuffle Hauntwood's Shrieker to the side. And possibly also Kona as well. Kona at 100%. That would be very good indeed. But let's keep in mind, what's the earliest turn I'm putting something on the battlefield? I would have to change things up quite a bit to support this, I think. I'd want Kona out on turn 3 plus a vehicle, which Kona can be used to crew the vehicle. I think that's how most people are going to be doing this. So Kona is tapped during the second main phase. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's magical Christmas land to have this enter and be tapped on turn 3. It could get silly, but again, if I want to do the Ghalta thing, I want to be doing that in the first main phase. Usually, if I have tons of stuff with haste, deadly, attack them, if at all possible. Definitely tapping for mana. You can't tap it the turn it enters, though, unfortunately. This on turn 3, Enduring Vitality on turn 4. Oh, it's hard to say. How many copies of Kona would you want? That's the thing. You would probably want to be seeing this as often as possible. If this is part of your game plan to cheat out something big and nasty, I have to imagine you're at 3 copies. So you have this plus Enduring Vitality. That's not a whole lot of meat, I feel. Oh, the hideaway vehicle. Head Shredder. Head Shredder. I think that's what you're mentioning. That could be a thing to get Kona tapped crewing this, for sure. But yeah, going back to that, you have some vehicles, you have Kona, you have a lot of stuff that isn't quite as impactful. And then if you're tapping Kona turn 4, sometimes I'm making 7 on that turn anyways. Sometimes 6, sometimes 8 on turn 4 if everything lines up, and well, I'd just rather play big stuff. Kona could be a big thing itself, which would enter plus other things. I don't know. It doesn't feel... It feels like Kona fits in perhaps a different deck. It doesn't feel quite as necessary to achieve my game plan that I'm doing right now, but I will try Kona at some point, 100%. Oh, Smuggler's Buggy. Smuggler's Copter. Smuggler's Copter, I believe. I think people are, yeah, definitely going to try that out. I never liked stuff that happened in the second main phase. This is all about
Ruthless aggression.
I had to press it, but ruthless aggression is playing stuff in your first main phase. The second, and then if you face off against control and you play stuff in your second main phase, you're going to be kicking yourself when everything gets swept. But you do it in the first main phase and you sweep the opponent to negative 20 life. Something. I don't know. It's going to be abused by somebody at some point, that's for sure. Oh, okay. Forgot we're still on Duskmourn stuff. I'll switch off of that and get to Smuggler's Copter. Collected, not collected, good. Or Smuggler's Surprise. Smuggler's Copter. I don't know anything from New Capenna that's Smugglers. Smuggler's Copter, though, recently unbanned. Well, no, not recently. It was banned for quite a while. Seen it float around here and there. For the most part, it is with Simic Merfolk. Deeproot Pilgrimage. Whenever a Merfolk is tapped, whether it's attacking or crewing the vehicle, with the Deeproot Pilgrimage, they make a 1/1 hexproof Merfolk. Very, very nasty with that, but also used to crew Kona. Quite good indeed. I have to imagine you probably want some Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystic to get Kona down turn 3. Mana Dork turn 1. This turn 2. Kona comes down turn 3. Crews the Copter. And you hope you have one big thing? Oh. It'd be a lot to ask for. I think it would be a lot to ask for. Okay, that's got to be Magical Christmas Land. I would have to think. Somebody's going to bust it. It's going to take a while for it to get refined. I have to imagine there's different avenues to get Kona tapped, and you just basically want to do it as fast as possible. How is that going to happen? Springleaf Drum definitely is potential for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I like consistency. I mean, who doesn't love seeing something pop off? And maybe for a newer player, they think, oh, I'm going to build this deck because I'm going to be doing that thing. But then they play it and they find out it doesn't happen quite as often as they thought. Oh, yeah. Everything's going to line up every game. That's definitely not the case. And Maybe they feel bad because the flashy thing that can happen only happens 25% of the time or 30% of the time, something like that. I don't like turn 4 Ulamogs. No. Sometimes I see turn 4 Ulamogs with mono green devotion. I had that happen today. That was not fun. Not fun at all. Painful. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. They play Ulamog, and it was a pretty fast game, and you got to admit, look on the bright side. Fairy Tale God Hands, though. Yeah. It's kind of like the turn 4 Hasty Ghalta. Primal Hunger. No, turn 3. 2, 3. Yeah. Turn 3 Hasty Ghalta. There's a 0.6% chance I can do it, and I did it live. I'd have to look back a year or so, but I've done it once. It looks completely different from this list, but you can get turn 3 Hasty Ghalta Primal Hunger. That's pretty good. 0.6% chance. It's nothing to rely on. It's just cool when it happens. It might not happen for an entire week. It might not happen for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I might still have the list that does that, though. Yeah. If you're playing Ulamog, you're cheating it out somehow. You're casting it because you want that cast trigger, I have to imagine. Exiling 2 permanents. That permanently locks in the win, usually, for the opponent. But, you know what? I'm going to look for that list. No, I got to take out the Hauntwoods Shrieker. Okay, I think we're good. I guess I might not get into a match here, but let me see. Let me see if I have that fast one. Big bashing. They all blend together, you can imagine. Somewhere there. Maybe it was Big Beatdown. No, that's some budget one. Okay. But I'll explain the line and you can, put it together that it's not super common. Okay. So you play Huntmaster on turn 2. It's looking good. You play your 3rd land on turn 3. Marauding for 1 because of the reduction from Huntmaster. Lovely stuff. You still have 2 lands left, but you're sitting on full reduction from Marauding and Huntmaster. Wayward, it costs 1 green, so you play that with the 2nd land, and then you have 1 land left, but then Wayward allows you to play a 4th land on turn 3, and you have 2 lands, 2 mana, and you're sitting at full reduction for Ghalta, just like that. 4 lands, boom, you play it. Huntmaster, because it came out on the previous turn, taps to give Ghalta haste, and the opponent, I think, conceded with that example. It's hard to find, I gotta say, when you have like 600 streams. It's pretty difficult, but keep in mind that required 4 lands and 4 creatures, very specific creatures. You can't mix and match anything, and yeah, it's painful. You basically have to keep your opening hand. You might be able to mulligan once. You could go with commune with dinosaurs, 1 green to find the land that you need, the 4th land to find the Ghalta Primal Hunger, because everything is looking pretty good. You might get that Ghalta down on turn 3. So it might be a little bit more consistent than a 0.6% chance with commune to get the final 8th piece needed, whether it's a land, whether it's marauding, something like that. But it's an example of something deadly that does not happen often, and certainly not something you want to rely on. Yeah. Okay, what time is it? Almost midnight. I think it's fantastic to leave it there. I loved chatting about some of the new Duskmourn stuff. Absolutely. You might as well. It's glass cannon, but it's not like it's the only thing you do. That's just the best, most deadly thing. people assume there's no other identity to a deck. Sometimes you say, oh, I can play Ghalta for cheap. Okay, yeah, if you don't do that, the deck sucks. That is not the case. And if any of you guys have been watching for a while, which most of you are, you know there's a lot more to it. A lot more deadly stuff to it. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it, I guess. For 3.5 years, Commune with Dinosaurs was in every list. Then I tried trimming it at one point just to replace it with some actual creature. Whatever that was. I forget at this point what I trimmed it for. I think it might have been to make space for Regisaur Raptor, but I don't know. You could have it in, it's going to be good. You can have it out, still get the job done. It's not like it's going to make the deck any worse. I just kind of didn't like passing a bunch of good stuff to the bottom. Stuff that Commune couldn't grab. Otepic Huntmaster being a human to the bottom. Sylvan Scrying, which I would have gotten, but now that Sylvan Scrying goes to the bottom. The Archdruid's Charm, I don't know, something about it didn't really sit quite right with me. And then sometimes Commune didn't grab a land at all, and a dino. There was no dino, no land in the top 5. It doesn't happen often, but you know, with Sylvan Scrying and Archdruids and some other stuff. Clifftop Lookout, the frog from Bloomborough. 2 and a green, when it enters, you put a land that is closest to the top on the battlefield. 12 things. Sometimes when I've sideboarded, it's 16 things that Commune can't grab, and that's kind of getting into the realm of not great. I want to pay 1 green, I want to at least grab something. Yeah, sometimes that didn't happen. Where was I? Oh, yes. We'll leave it there for tonight. Try and get some sleep, I guess. Definitely. 100%. You keep. I've won with 1 land hands, Sunken Citadel plus Commune, because I also had a Sylvan Scrying. I know Commune is going to grab the second land that I need to go with Sylvan Scrying to grab the third land for the Archdruids, and everything falls into place. But there is some examples I was streaming where Commune did not grab that second land, and then I felt extra bad. Of course, if Commune is something else big, I wouldn't have kept that hand anyways, but it can allow for riskier keeps, that's for sure. 100%. You can make some amazing things happen, and you might want to do that. All depends what's in there. You have 1 land plus Sylvan Scrying plus Commune, I would probably give it a go. Especially if that 1 land is Sunken Citadel. You play that to start, you might draw a land for your turn coming up. Even if you don't, boom, Commune, dig, play the second one, Sylvan Scrying the turn after that, and you really can recover quite nicely indeed. Kind of like I can recover with this. Playing Vaultborn Tyrant, all that life gain, all the card draw from the Great Henge. It's pretty great. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Some great chats. I wish I could stay longer. I could, but everybody does need their sleep. I could do this for 3 hours. 4 hours. Man. I'll do Brawl again too, if anybody's wondering. I just love doing this the most. Explore, best of 3. Trying to make it as good as possible, and trying definitely a lot of these new cards. Very, very exciting stuff. And Kona at some point. We'll give it a go. 100%. Okay. Peace. Have a good one. Thanks everybody for watching, and get some rest. Have a good rest of your time zone, and I appreciate it. I love to do different stuff too. Go off on a night's tangent and discuss how I might use it. But yes, rest well.
This is a load of barnacles.